Hey guys, looking for new survival games? Then you've come to the right place. We've started the list with Dune Awakening, a multiplayer open-world survival game set on the most dangerous planet in the universe, Arrakis, based on the science fiction franchise created by Frank Herbert. In Awakening, you start as a prisoner sent to Arrakis to unravel the mystery of the Fremen's disappearance. You need to learn to survive in the hostile desert environment, learning the customs of the Fremen, crafting a protective suit to shield yourself from the scorching sun, and extracting water from your enemies to stay hydrated. You will also need to build a shelter to protect yourself from the deadly sandstorms and be wary of the sandworms.
Master Arrakis, and it will open your mind. This is your path to awakening.
The next game on the list is Rooted, a post-apocalyptic survival game being developed by Headlight Studio, an indie team that uses the powerful Unreal Engine 5 to create an immersive experience. Apparently, the game will be released in 2025, and it already piques interest with its promises of a dynamic open world, deep gameplay, and support for both single-player and cooperative multiplayer. Rooted takes place around the year 2100, in a world ravaged by a global bacteriological war that decimated civilization. You take on the role of one of the few survivors, facing the ruins of a collapsed past. The narrative is inspired by titles like The Last of Us, with a focus on survival in a scenario where nature has begun to reclaim some of the land, making some areas safe, while urban zones remain highly contaminated and dangerous. Little Devil Inside is an action-adventure game in development by NeoStream Interactive, an independent studio based in Seoul, South Korea. The game has been eagerly awaited by fans since its announcement in 2015 and promises a unique experience that combines elements of exploration, survival, and combat in a surreal and mysterious world. Little Devil Inside offers an open world to explore, with diverse landscapes including deserts, mountains, forests, swamps, and even underwater environments. Players will need to adapt to weather and environmental conditions, collecting resources, building shelters, and crafting tools to survive. The story revolves around Billy, a swordsman who works for a research team led by Professor Vincent and Dr. Oliver. The team's goal is to travel the world in search of supernatural events and unusual phenomena, with the ultimate goal of assembling a complete encyclopedia of all phenomenal existence. Derelicts is a highly anticipated indie game being developed by a single developer named Romain. It is an ambitious project that blends survival, base building, and exploration in an open world, with support for solo and cooperative gameplay. The story begins after a mysterious ancient mechanism floods the planet with radiation, forcing much of humanity to abandon Earth and live in space stations. You, along with up to 3 friends, or alone, are a survivor who returns to the planet with a crashed spaceship. Your mission is to explore, build, and survive in a hostile environment full of mutated animals and humans affected by radiation, while trying to discover the origin of the incident that devastated the world. Subnautica 2 is an open-world survival game that promises to take players to a completely new and mystery-filled alien oceanic world. Developed by Unknown Worlds, the same studio behind the original Subnautica, the game will be released in 2025 for PC via Steam and Xbox Series. Subnautica 2 is a survival and adventure game in an underwater open world set on a completely new alien ocean planet. Like its predecessors, the focus is on exploration, construction, and survival in a hostile and fascinating environment. The game retains the essence of the series with vibrant biomes, exotic creatures, and an intriguing narrative, but introduces new elements that promise to expand the experience. Subnautica 2 maintains the pillars of the series: exploration of a vast alien ocean, resource collection, creation of tools, vehicles, and bases, and survival in the face of underwater dangers. StarCrafter is a game being developed by TBJBU2 and will be published by the same team, with a planned release in the first quarter of 2025. It is a space survival game with elements of crafting, mining, base building, and star system development, offering an immersive experience in an open-world environment. In StarCrafter, the player takes on the role of a space explorer with the mission of surviving and transforming star systems. The game combines survival mechanics with the ability to create rockets to build planets, Dyson rings, and even Dyson spheres. You can mine and craft advanced materials, terraform terrain, manage electricity, grow food, and watch the star system evolve with dynamic and constantly changing visuals throughout the gameplay. Cubic Odyssey is an open-world adventure game being developed by Atypical Games, an indie studio based in Bucharest, Romania, and published by Gaijin Entertainment, known for titles like War Thunder. The game is scheduled to be released in 2025 for PC via Steam, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series, and promises an experience that combines elements of space exploration, construction, crafting, and combat in a vast and colorful universe. The story of Cubic Odyssey begins with the player suffering an accident that causes him to land on a distant planet. From there, the goal is to survive and explore the universe, facing a threat called Red Darkness, a galactic infection that mutates wildlife, consumes planets, and puts all existence at risk. The game is described as a fusion of concepts seen in Minecraft and No Man's Sky, but with its own identity. Night is Coming is a survival strategy game set in a fantasy world inspired by Slavic mythology and the nature of Eastern Europe. You take on the role of leader of a group of survivors, building and developing your settlement, collecting resources, and protecting your people from the monsters that lurk in the darkness. The game takes place in a fantasy world inspired by Slavic mythology and the nature of Eastern Europe. The world is dynamic and constantly changing, with sunrise and sunset, sounds of nature, elemental spirits, seasonal and weather changes. The aesthetic combines elements of dark fantasy with snow-capped mountain landscapes, dense forests, and a constant sense of tension as night approaches. Terminator Survivors is a survival game in development by Nacon Studio Milan, set in the universe of the Terminator franchise. The game takes place after Judgment Day, when humanity was nearly wiped out, and you take on the role of a survivor fighting to rebuild society in a hostile world. Survivors is an open-world survival game where you must explore the environment, collect resources, build a base of operations, and fight against Skynet machines and other human factions. Players explore a vast open world, collecting resources such as food, fuel, materials, and information to survive and strengthen their base. Resource management is essential, as the environment is dangerous and supplies are scarce. In addition to surviving, players can uncover secrets about Judgment Day and the Terminator universe, unraveling a new storyline while interacting with familiar and new characters. Lost Skies is a cooperative action-adventure game for up to 4 players. It takes place in an open world of floating islands, where players need to master the wind to explore, fight, and survive. The game is being developed by Bossa Studios, known for other games like I Am Bread and Surgeon Simulator. The game will feature a melee and ranged combat system, allowing players to choose their preferred playstyle. In addition, the game will have a character progression system, allowing players to customize their characters and unlock new abilities. The world of Lost Skies will be vast and open, with diverse floating islands to explore. Each island will have its own challenges and secrets, encouraging players to explore every corner of the world. Well, that was the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and see you next time.